It's the Slam Dunk.
This is a story or an issue that we just simply don't want to know about, or we turn our backs on. This is the increasing numbers of unwanted domestic animals, mainly dogs and cats, and the havoc it's causing. Much of it is due to the rising cost of living, but also some owners are just meatheads, you know. Our worst offenders are irresponsible, causing massive harm and cost to society, and in some aspects, the harm actually comes in the form of a brutal, say, dog attack that leads to the loss of life, loss of human life. The dog being put down, and all the resulting trauma that stems from all those sorts of issues. It's wholly avoidable, but far too many careless Kiwis are showing willful, total disregard for their fellow Kiwis and the animal it should be responsible for, quite frankly. In Auckland alone, there are 135,000 dogs that we know about, but it's believed there are at least another 70,000 dogs in one city that we have no information about at all. We don't know. The total number of dog attacks reported in the last year, the last 12 months, increased by 17% to 3,000 attacks in New Zealand's largest city of Auckland. 3,000 attacks. Horrific. That's 10 a day. There were 155 more attacks on people in the last year compared to the year before. The increase is mostly due to more roaming dogs. We've got these roaming dogs. More than 100 people were prosecuted under the law, which is not that many. Auckland currently has 6,500 dogs classified as menacing. 13 dogs classified as dangerous. This is a 20% increase in the number of these high-risk dogs that are just roaming the streets. Fewer and fewer owners of these dogs are getting their dogs desexed and don't want to know about it. In Auckland alone, there were 15,000 reports in 1 year about roaming dogs. And almost 4,000 of those dogs were behaving really aggressively to people or other animals. Like really, really, really concerning. Welfare-related complaints increased in 1 year by 80% compared to the year before. Now, this is evidence that the cost of living crisis, the explosion, has meant people have abandoned animals. They've walked away from them. They can't care for them, but the animals still survive. It's become a huge issue. 8,000 dogs, just over 8,000 dogs in Auckland were sent to the pound. More than half were put down. Pounds and shelters all around the country, not just Auckland, but at Palmerston North, in Wellington, and Christchurch, all around the country, are full and they simply can't cope. And when pounds become full, dogs die. It's why smaller rescue services are popping up and those who care are doing their bit. But my God, this is overwhelming. We'll talk about this shortly. All up, how's this? 8,306 dogs in Auckland were impounded in 12 months. That's an increase of 1,700 dogs in the previous year. That caused the 3 Auckland shelters to operate at full capacity for the entire 12 months. They didn't have a spare kennel. And for a large part of the year, they were operating way above their capacity, which is not sustainable. The rate of impounded dogs claimed by their owners was just 43%, which is the lowest in the 10-year period that the Animal Welfare Agency has been operating. Euthanasia rate was 48%. That's higher than any other time since these guys began in 2014. Just 455 dogs were adopted of that 8,300. And transferred to these rescue organisations, which, while it's an increase, remember, 4,000 dogs are put down, so it's tough. Papakura, here it is. Let me reveal this. Papakura is the suburb with the most dogs, due to the fact it's got farms, but it also has the most threatening and dangerous dogs. But Manarewa, I think, takes the cake. This is the suburb I think is most dangerous, and it has almost as many dangerous dogs as Papakura, but it has way more dogs impounded than any other suburb. 728 dogs were sent to the pound in Manarewa alone last year. Now, considering it's got just, 2,500 dogs for the entire suburb, that's almost 1 in 3 dogs were impounded, or 2 a day. I'm calling Manarewa as the unsafest place when it comes to dogs. Oh, I think they've got a shocking bloody reputation.
Duncan Garner, live.